Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Wake Us Up in the Wood with myself, Joe, Brother L, and Marshall behind the deck. So yes, guys, today we are reporting live from UWC where we will be having a debate, It's kind of crazy how this whole thing was set up, to exclude the National Colored Congress. Firstly, the badge did not appear, on the paper, of the political parties that will be sending out the representation to take part in the debate that is happening here today. The second point is that the same old politicians are coming here to debate again, once again, to speak about the future of our children, of our communities, and of this country at large, right? We have decided as the National Colored Congress that we will be sending in a youth representative to represent us on the stage here today, and not to send in a seasoned politicians. Long gone are the time where people are coming in to decide for us. Today we are creating opportunities, new opportunities, fresh opportunities by sending in fresh leadership into government. So watch the space on the 29th of May. Be sure to make your mark at the National Colored Congress.
I want to just make a few preliminary remarks that previous generations fought to win us a democracy with elections. No political party is banned, no activists are in detention, nobody has censorship over here. And with over 100 parties and independent standing, nobody has an excuse not to vote. Whatever your viewpoint, there's going to be at least one party or independent who you can vote for there. And why I make that my starting point is that internationally we know the lowest voting percentage is of voters 18 years old to 23 years old. And in our election, nobody's got an excuse not to vote because there'll be a party there. So I want you please to make sure all of you, and you tell all your friends, to come out to vote on election day. The next point I'd like to make is actually entering an epoch of coalitions. And this makes it, the coalitions, serious talking only starts after the votes are counted.
When I was talking about the race intake in this university, the United States under the why then what about the colleges? Isn't just about equality or race equality? When our colleges apply for the university, when we are in a way where we are, I think that is two times.
I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Larry van der Veen from the National Colored Congress, and I just want to recognize my president, Joseph Jacobs. And I just want to say that no other political party sitting here as youth here on the panel. I'm just 21, I'm from Leavenville, I'm studying here. I'm a man on the Cape Flats, and I just want to say, trust your youth before I'm talking about coalition. So, the NCC policy on coalitions is straightforward. We will not be with a political party that does not give equality to colored people. That's our firm stance on that. We know that the multi-party chart is just voting for Big Brother DA. We know that. We're not going to tolerate that. We know the ANC, we're not going to form coalition with the ANC. Either way. Because we know what is going to happen. But our stance is firm. We will not be in a coalition with a political party that does not represent the interests of colored people, who does not give us an equal chance. Because we know in employment we are not given an equal chance, in education we are not given an equal chance. So if those political parties want to form a coalition with us, you need to conform with our principles. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Lovely, that was good. We are moving right along to the second question, therefore, children. Because for the past 30 years, and even currently with the recent statistics that were released the past few weeks, we've seen that in South Africa, instead of issues of rape and femicide decreasing, they're actually increasing, and this is post 30 years of democracy. What we then want to know is what is the position of those political parties insofar as these issues are concerned, and how are you going to address them?
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. So the NCC stance is firm in gender-based violence. Those are the issues that keep our community behind. We, as the NCC, we won 8 seats from the council. We have put 6 councillors here in that are women. That is what we do. Our president has said firmly that we want to put the first woman president of South Africa in parliament. That is what we want to do. The thing is, gender-based violence and femicide is not a primary problem, it's a tertiary problem. There are things that is leading up to that. If you do not address that root cause, which is not proper education, which is not proper social issues that needs to be addressed, those are the causes. If you do not have specific training, workshops for those people that have committed gender-based violence, there's the process is going to continue. It's pointless sending somebody to jail, but not rehabilitating that person. So the NCC's stance is firm. Educate our youth on gender-based violence and femicide. And another issue is that they have free condoms in toilets. What about free period pads?
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. And just to close off, this is going to be our last.
NCC says that we expropriate the land without compensation. Because when we go back in history, did the Dutch sign any agreements with our people? No. They expropriated their land without compensation. So we want the state bank to hold all the land. That's what we want. We want the land to be returned to the original owners. When you look at the colored people and the black people, our land was taken off without compensation. We were shot and we were killed for it. That's what we went through. So we are saying, expropriate the land without compensation. Build schools on that land. Build houses on that land. Our people live in squalor, informal settlements. Our people are not given houses. Build houses on that land. Build schools, workplaces, industrialize the land for the benefit of the whole country. We are saying the natural resources of this country as well is going out of this country. It's not being processed here, like my friend says. It's not being processed here. Let us expropriate the land without compensation, build our own factories there, build our own schools, build our universities, build there so that we can prosper. And we, as a colored people, it was thrown off Constantia, Bishop's Court. We had productive land there. We're going to return back to our land. And that is our firm stance. We're going to return back to our land.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to the
This province. And the students, education, people that wants to make a living. And
Mother, thank you so much for the question. Time is out, the mic is off. Brother right there.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for the opportunity, firstly. I would like to address the Democratic Alliance because they are the governing party in the Western Cape and they are also the governing party in the city of Cape Town. So to the other colleagues, I want to excuse you guys. To the Democratic Alliance, we've seen a lack of infrastructure development within the Western Cape, Cape Town in particular, within colored communities in particular, and black areas as well. I want to address you on the issue of the 10 billion rand that you guys receive from national government for infrastructure. I haven't seen that budget reflect within our communities. Our schools lack infrastructure. You can look at our schools. you can clearly see that the Freedom Charter was not even implemented. The schools that was built in the apartheid era was not destroyed. We didn't get any fresh schools. Many of our schools don't have any soccer fields, sports fields. That's why our kids cannot excel. And when we look at the facilities that we get, it is almost as if we are treated as we are dogs. I want to know from the Democratic Alliance, since your time is up on the 29th of May, can I finish?
Go ahead, my brother.
Can I finish?
Do not disturb the person when he's on the floor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Since your time is finished on the 29th of May and your moonshot pack is not going to work, I want to know, for the time being, what are you guys going to do? Because you keep on spending, or not spending the budget. You've spent less than 40% in housing. You've returned the budget to national government. You guys keep on playing the blame game, asking national government to give you guys powers for policing, but you are not addressing the core issues in our communities. We lack infrastructure, we lack social development in our communities. There's nothing for the youth in our communities. When I look at the Cape Flats was designed in the apartheid era. The apartheid spatial planning is still there. Manenberg is divided by one road, then you have Guguletu and Manenberg opposite each other. Kailitsa and Mitchell's Plain is divided by one road called Swartklip. When are you addressing the issues of apartheid spatial planning? Because you can clearly see that your tactic of divide and rule, to divide colored people and black people, is still in full effect, and you are not addressing the root cause of the issue. You are trying to play us up against each other so that we can continue to hate each other and not to find unity within our community.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Moving right along.
Directed towards the EFF. Two questions quickly. There have been accusations of women abuse in the EFF of this institution. What is the EFF saying about that? Secondly, the leadership of the EFF wears Gucci and drives Porsche Panamera. With the notion that the EFF is a Marxist-Leninist organization, is this insistence on wearing these expensive things that speak of consumerism not at odds with the principles that govern the EFF in its formation? A question for UTM. What is the ideological position of the UTM, and why is the UTM always insisting on an economic indaba? Is an economic indaba under capitalism going to work? The last one, the DA, Helen Zille, has been using very racist tweets and celebrating colonialism. What is the position of the DA around that issue? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. My question is directed to the honorable gentleman from the DA. Mr. DA, all your supporters just left the building. They are not interested in what you have to say. The one lady told me now, before she left, that she's going to vote for the CCC. Helen Zille must now accept the fact that the DA will lose the Western Cape without fear and favor. Viva NCC! Thank you so much.
My brother.
Thank you so much. The NCC, to wrap it up, like we have said, the issue of education is dismal in this country. It's pathetic, to say the least. Now, the issue of employment and education is like this. You cannot be educated without finding a job. You need to be educated in order to get a job. Now, the issue comes with unemployment. There's two types of unemployment. There's structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is when you cannot get a job because you do not have the ability and the skills. So the issue comes down, like I say, it's not a tertiary level problem. It's a root cause of it. The problem is the education system needs to change in order for people to get better jobs. The current education system does not provide sufficient knowledge and education for our youth so that they can get into the fourth industrial revolution. They cannot work in primary school, in high school, they are not working with AI. That is where we are going towards. We are going towards an industrialized society. We need to industrialize our society in order to create more employment. But the problem needs to come. First, you need to sort out your education. From there onwards, you are working upwards. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.